Alright, we moved inside. I got a little chilly out there for a t-shirt. Paul here again with Road Trip Extreme, part 2 of this 3-part series. So we did the 4Runner, and now we're going to show you the Silverado. And kind of interesting thing to note about the Silverado, it's not lifted. It is a Z71. It does have Duratracs on it, Goodyear Duratracs on it, 31-inch, I believe. Just to point out too, 4Runner that we saw in part 1, forgot to mention, has a, or I did and I might have cut it out somewhere, has a 3-inch lift and it has 33-inch Goodyear Duratracs on it. So I just wanted to point a couple things out before you watch the next part, but not lifted Silverado, all the air dams, everything's still on it. And just wanted to show you how that handles the same obstacle. So without further ado, here it comes. All right, here we are in the Chevy Silverado. We're going to put this thing in 4 low. We have to be in neutral in order to do that. And we are shifted into 4 low. Traction control is off. We're going to move to our off-road screen. And we are in 4 low. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to try and get an idea of whether or not the rear differential will kick in as we do this articulation section here. Just tell me if at any point it looks like I'm going to rub that front bottom piece there, right, Mike? So we're coming down into the ditch right now, and then we're going to start coming back up. My parking assist is going off. Turn that off. No rubbing. We're good. All right, we're going to try and take it a little steeper then. We good? Okay, parking assist off. I thought. Oh, and we're a little stuck. We're just going to keep our foot on the gas, see if the low traction, let's see if the traction control is going to get in. Kick in, no. There we go, traction control finally got going, and we're out. Nowhere near as smooth as the 4Runner was, but we did it. I mean, it's muddy, it's slippery. I mean, it's not the easiest little thing to get through, and we did it. That front bottom piece there, right, Mike?
Okay.
Rubbing, we're good. All right, we're gonna try and take it a little steeper then. We're good.
Yeah.
Let's park the assist on. And we're stuck. We're just gonna keep our foot on the gas, see if the low traction, see if the traction control is gonna get it. So we're going to shift it into 4 low. We're in 4 low, put it back in drive, and then we're going to attack this little, you'll be able to see on the screen the articulation and the angle of the vehicle once there we go. And we know we're not going to rub because we already did this once. That might be tough to see. Okay, there you go. Hopefully you can see that. We're going to try and just creep right back up. And we're stuck again. So we've got the there we go, and it just catches and boom, and out you go. It's pretty like I said, it's not the smartest, it's not the best, but it will get the job done. So there you have it. So some final thoughts on the Silverado. First off, I love that pickup. It's one of my favorite vehicles I've ever purchased. And I think the most important thing to think about is if you are currently in the market for a Silverado, or a full-size pickup for that matter, and you want to do some off-roading, I believe right now we've got the Silverado Trail Boss is the big thing for 2019 and 2020. And do you need to spend $55,000, $50,000 on a Trail Boss? I don't think you do. I think you can save yourself about 15 grand. Go buy yourself a 2014 or newer, and obviously slightly older, the more money you're going to save, Z71, and put a $150 2-inch body lift on it, and you essentially have a Trail Boss. As long as you get the Z71 off-road package, you should have the G80, I believe it's called, automatic locking rear, and essentially you have the same thing. I mean, to my knowledge, I think at least for 2019, maybe in 2020, they'll add a push-button locker to the Silverado, but I don't think that's happening. So basically, save yourself the money, buy a rough country 1.5-inch or 2-inch leveling kit, throw it on a used Z71, and boom, off-road full-size pickup that's every bit as capable as the 4Runner. Or, I mean, I would say we took it a little easy with the Silverado. I was a little hesitant to go blazing into that ditch without a lift. I didn't want to tear the front end of the car up. So, but I think a little bit of momentum, and we would have never got stuck. The vehicle never got stuck. But we were also trying to get stuck so that we could see how the rear end would engage if it needed to, and pull us out of there. And it worked. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. Did it take a little bit of time for the computer to figure it out? Yes, but it did it. And it's not lifted. We didn't rub. We didn't do anything. We didn't do any damage. And it was muddy. It was nasty. I mean, you can see the mud, on the tires as we came through that. It was slick. It was nasty out there. I mean, it snowed last night. So it was a tough little obstacle to get through, and I think I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed with how the Silverado made it through there. Like I said, was it as graceful as the? But hey, the 4Runner got stuck. 4Runner got stuck. What the hell? I would have never thought that I would have gotten stuck in that situation. But hey, we only had 2 wheels on the ground. In both situations, we got those trucks perfectly in a situation where they had 2 wheels off the ground and traction was at a minimum, and they both needed that rear, at a minimum, needed that rear locker to engage in order to get out. So there you have it. I mean, proof is in the pudding. And there it is. I mean, they both can do the same thing. Obviously, longer wheelbase, shorter breakover angle on the, or longer breakover angle on the Silverado versus the 4Runner. So, obviously getting over steep obstacles that, you have to come back down on the other side real quick. 4Runner is going to be a little better on that, but that's just the nature of the beast. But going back to the whole point of, why we're really doing this is the fact that, you know, what can you do? What do you want to do? You know, can you off-road overland with a full-size truck? Do you need a 4Runner? Do you need, you know, a Tacoma? I think everyone needs to know that, hey, I can do just about anything I want to do within reason with any of these vehicles. I don't need a Rubicon. You know, I don't need, you know, a Tundra or a TRD Pro anything. I can go grab a used pickup that I can use for work. I can bang around town. I can throw stuff in the back of it. I can haul 7, 8, 10,000 pounds in a weekend. I can tow my trailer, or I can just go out, take my tent, take all my equipment, throw it in the back of the pickup, and I can go hit some fire roads, and I can go do a little bit of off-roading, go get it out of the, you know, get away from it all, and just disappear into the woods. And I can do that in my Silverado. And I think that's an important thing for anybody out there to learn and understand, that that's all you really need, you know. So there it is. I probably went on way too long on that last bit, but just wanted to kind of drive that home, that it's a great vehicle. It'll go off-road, put some decent tires on it, put a little bit of lift, and you can really do some impressive things with it. So with that said, we will catch you later. We got part 3 coming up with the LR4, so stay tuned. Road Trip X out.